Hey guys, I'm glad you're back today. I'm hoping everyone is having a good time at home, and I hope everyone is able to say their verses that they're learning to their moms and dads. We are studying out of the book of Numbers and Deuteronomy today. Boys and girls, Moses had been the leader of the Israelite people for many years. God had chosen Moses to be the leader of his people, and he had been a very good leader. Moses had led the Israelites when they were happy and when they were sad. He had led them in the desert when they were thankful for God's help, and other times when they complained and grumbled at even the good things that God had given them. Moses had led these Israelites long enough to know that sometimes they could be very stubborn and disobedient and want to do things their way instead of the way that God said was best. One day, Moses was talking to the Lord God about the time soon when the Israelites would go across the Jordan River and into their new homeland, the land of Canaan. Moses knew that he would not be going with them on that day. God had another plan for him. Moses loved the Israelites very much, and he wanted them to be well taken care of. They would need a new leader, and Moses wanted them to have the best leader they could have. God is the one who chooses leaders for his people. So Moses said, "Oh God, this large group of people will need help when I am no longer with them. Without a leader, they will know not what to do. With a leader, they will know what to do. God, you are the one who knows each person in this big group. Only you will know how to choose the very best man from our families to be the new leader. Please choose a man who will love the people and take good care of them. He will also need to be a man who can help them fight battles against the enemies who are in the new land." "Yes," the Lord answered, "there is a man who can do all these things, and most importantly, he is a man who loves and honors me. His name is Joshua, and I have chosen him to be the new leader for the Israelites." Oh, how glad Moses was to know that Joshua was the new leader. Joshua had been Moses' helper for many years. Whenever there had been an important job or when someone was needed who was brave and courageous, Moses had called on Joshua. Joshua would be a wise leader. Joshua would pray for the Israelites. But the best thing about Joshua was that he loved the Lord God with all his heart. He would try to lead the people just as God had told him to do. It was important that the Israelite people know that God had chosen Joshua to be their new leader. So Moses sent out word that there was going to be an important meeting. Quickly the news was told from tent to tent. "Come to the meeting. Moses is going to make an important announcement." Everyone hurried. The men and women came to the meeting place. Soon Moses looked out from where he was standing, and he could see crowds and crowds of people. Moms and dads stood, holding the hands of their children. Every face was looking at Moses. Everyone was anxious to hear what Moses had to say. They got very still and quiet. Moses' strong voice rang out across the crowd. "I am an old man now. I am 120 years old and cannot lead you anymore." The people looked at each other. I'm sure many of them were worried. They must have thought, "Who will lead us? Who will help us cross the river into the promised land?" But Moses had an answer for them. Before anyone could ask a question, Moses continued to speak. "The Lord God will lead you across the river himself, and he has chosen Joshua to be your new leader. Do not be afraid. Be strong and brave. The Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." What a wonderful choice God had made. The people were glad. Moses could tell that they were very happy. The people were probably ready to cheer for Joshua, but Moses was not finished speaking yet. Moses called Joshua to step up where all the people could see him. The priest stood next to Moses and Joshua. Then Moses took both of his hands and put them on Joshua's head, just as God had told him. Moses ordered Joshua, "You will be the leader of these people. You must be strong and brave. You must go with these people into the land God has promised to give them. God will go in front of you, and he will be with you. He will never leave you." As soon as Moses finished ordering Joshua to be the leader, God called them. God said, "Come, both of you, to the tent of meeting." So quickly Moses and Joshua walked away from the crowd of people and stood at the tent as God commanded them. As they stood there, the beautiful, shining cloud of God came down to the tent of meeting. From within the cloud, God's own voice spoke, "Joshua, be strong and brave. Lead my people to the land I have promised them, and I will be with you." God had spoken. Joshua was the new leader of the Israelites. Leading these people would not be easy, but God would be with them. And because God had chosen Joshua, the people knew they had the very best leader to take them in to the promised land.